Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 137. This one reviewing the 920th episode of Righteous O-Soba Mask and the 975th chapter of the manga, Kimon's Clever Trick. Yes, this episode is now first the episode. It is from pages 2 to 13 of chapter number 931. Okay, fair enough. Now here's kind of the thing. There's one scene in this episode that is completely anime original, and it's not in the manga. Most of the episode is simply this. First you see Sanji takes out his raid can, and you see him doing a transformation into his costume, which takes longer than the anime does in the manga. In the manga, it's like really quick. In the anime, it's like he just throws around, jumps in the air, and then he does transformations in the air. And like in the manga, he's standing on the roof. They have a slight change here where he's simply standing on the air. And what does he do right after this? He proceeds to beat the living crap out of page 1. Yep, to the point where he gets thrown into the building, and apparently his pot belly he had completely disappears, turns into a six-pack, and the snout he has also disappears as well. Why in the world it does this for? The manga itself never explains it. Oh yeah, and also, like, when they have the transformation in the episode, which I'm so happy they included this, because the manga didn't include. Yeah, it's a very similar transformation sequence to what his family goes through, but it's more in line with some of the other Super Sentai-style transformations. I mean, it shows his legs, his arms, his chest. Yeah. It's a pretty good sequence. And I appreciate Toei Basic doing a good job with this. And apparently, and you've heard thinking, okay, why the heck does Law know? And here's the thing. John Fergus Law knows all about the German Six. Hey, that German Six is like, yeah, it is, but I hate them. Yes. Yeah. It's like, how did you know about them? Everybody in East Blue knows about them. In North Blue knows about them because apparently he was born in North Blue. I know Sanji was. Apparently Law was too. And apparently him and his sister used to read about the adventures of the German Six and Sora the Warrior. Oh yeah, and also that the Stealth Black, that's what this one is, was apparently wears yellow in the actual stories, and then Sanji wears a black suit. And he has a pretty good idea how they use it, from what I can tell. Probably after watching his siblings use it a lot. But apparently he had no idea about the invisibility thing. Though he comments though so much the clear fruit, a devil he really wanted his hands on, so he could be a peeping Tom. Yep. That's the reason why he wanted the thing. And we see him having like a flashback to the Thriller Bark arc. Yes, where he basically has a conversation with Absalom. A very brief little moment, and it's something that they actually use actual stock footage for this episode. Well, here's kind of the thing about it. This is kind of stock footage, but yeah, this flashback also happened in the manga as well. Yeah, so it's not exactly like they just pulled this out. I mean, it seems like they just basically use that stock footage and basically sort of updated it to the current standard they have right now, compared to when the original episode that featured that scene originally aired, which was probably back in the mid-2000s, I think. It was part of the 10th season for the show. Yep, and then after he proceeds to beat the crap out of him, this fight between, and of course when Sanji introduces himself, takes a little while to introduce himself, and yeah. He says, I am so mask. And it was like, what? And it was like, that's a terrible thing to say. That's a terrible name. And then he proceeds to fight him a little bit more, and then he defeats him and after he lands a big kick him, he just basically leaves. Law, Usopp, and Frankie go off someplace else. And then the last portion, and we see one brief scene, which is complete anime original, which actually is not from the manga. It's simply Luffy, who's hungry, and eats some dumplings he has in his outfit. He eats a few of them, apparently he's out, he asks Captain Kid for them. Captain Kid doesn't say anything, and then we cut straight to the Flower Capital, back to Flower Capital, mainly what Nicky Robin's up to. We see that Momoshiki's sister decides to play the song that pretty much opened up the Wano arc when they first show Wano, and what started the current act. Yeah, playing that very song, and she's the one basically the one who plays it. And we have Robin who sneaks around, goes in her room, and looks at stuff, and then she comes across this country's version of the the Opawama, I think it's how you pronounce it. Yeah, these people were actually, the name of this group actually based on a real life group that existed in 19th century Japan, from what I heard, and this group was also featured in the show for Sure Kenshin. So it's great that they actually featured them. So I guess Oda probably figured, okay, so we have everything for feudal Japan era, so why not feature these guys? Why not? And Nico Robin's confronted by probably all, including the leader of the group, and that's the episode ends. Really good episode. Definitely looking forward to next week's episode, which has her basically fighting these people, which pretty much finishes up this chapter here. Well, finish up chapter 31. Now move on to the first. Come on, thank you. Now the chapter. Game Bedroom Fan, Volume 23. Thank you, whoever you are. Yep, basically it's Kafka basically kissing the guy on the cheek. And we pick up where last had left off, where Conjurer's got Momoshiki, and of course Luffy's group is there. Yep, and apparently Thousand is perfectly fine. Apparently they had no idea. Apparently the ship basically cannot be destroyed via bombs because of the wood made from the the jewel tree. Yeah, this is the first time the wood of the ship's mentioned. This is the first time it's been mentioned since the Sunny's debut way back in the post-Eros Lobby arc. That was the first time the ship first showed up, and this is the first time they mentioned the wood since then. So basically the reason why it took so long basically because of sale. So everybody's on the ship back in their regular outfits. Well, except for Frankie, who's basically in a very souped up outfit along with Usopp. But Brooke, Robin, Carrot, Luffy's back in his traditional outfit he's now wearing. Sanji's back in his normal outfit along with Zoro. Nami, of course, is dressed in armor because why not? Oh, and also it's raining. Yep. So everyone's wondering, like, where's everybody else? Like, apparently, yeah, have Law, Captain Kidd, and Luffy basically got their ships there. Yeah, failed to serve a ship, and they know about the Alliance of Emperors. Yep. And everybody's like shocked by the alliance between Big Mom and Kaido. What are you gonna do? Fire cannons. And then you have Captain Kidd does Pig Rotten. You have Luffy doing Bouncy Man basically going to fourth gear. First time in a while he's gone to fourth gear. Probably since his fight with Kaido he's gone to fourth gear. And you have Law doing Room, and of course there's some explosions coming. Yep. Well, what are you doing? And apparently the leader of the Yakuza basically defects to them. To the Kasura family are disposal in the raid. You joking? What favor do you use? The favor and the debt I owe the Kazu clan is immeasurable. The fact that back on 40 years ago, Kin, the Mountain God incident happened in the capital. The people believed the cause by Lord Odin's rampaging, they were wrong. Kin. The event caused by the greed of your younger days. What? Only one man can know that. Actually. Is it you, Dojiro? Indeed. I suppose you don't recognize me, but I would reveal myself to you once, but I chose to stay your enemy just in case. And sure enough, I had named myself Dojiro. The betraying missile had passed on, Dojiro, and had shortened Orochi and had me killed. Instead, I had retained Orochi's at the very end, and that was to liberate 1,000 samurai from the Rushu prisoner quarters and another 1,200 soldiers in total. And it was like cheering. And the fact that they were coming all at once. because of the papers passed around. So everybody's like getting together, like shock about this big humongous army of 4,200 people basically, and ruined about 5,000. Let's work together on the raid Urksar at basically Chaos headquarters. Woohoo, what a sight. Looks like we're good to go. So many of them. You're truly a leader, Kin. A man worthy of my respect. I suppose we're going to curse you, Kin, man. And I was lost things with that. Now we have 5,400 soldiers. Continue forth. So this entire time, it was supposed to be the wharf, not Takagi port? Even Kindamon's shocked by this development. Yeah. This overall is a really good chapter. Definitely looking forward to next week's chat. Well, it won't be a chapter next week because it's taking a break. Next chapter will come out for 2 weeks. Yep, I give the chapter roughly a 9.5. I think it's really good. Can't wait for the next chapter when it comes out, which will be 976. This is 975. Congrats basically for this series reaching that far. Yeah, which makes it the... Well, it's not many series. It's only the second series I've seen reach this far. The first series I saw reach this far that I had read up past this point was Case Closed. I mean, at the rate it's going at, it could probably reach 1,000. Probably not this year per se. I mean, it could reach 1,000 chapters. It's possible. They're only about 25 chapters away. So it's a maybe they might be able to reach 1,000 chapters this year, but who knows? It all depends upon Oda. We might not reach 1,000 chapters maybe like the end of the year. That would be something. So yeah, that's it for Stickler View. My next video I'm going to do, I've been really wanting to do this for some time now. Like, I figured though, why not do this one? I haven't done this one in a little bit. A comic book history episode. And you'll find out what I'm talking about in that video, okay? See you in the next video. Bye.